Hey everybody, I'm Nemesis Bloodreich. That's an idiot.
And he's a big idiot.
That's true. So you might be wondering what this is. Now if you remember Death Battle, when they got to 100 episodes, they did the Road to 100 blogs. We're doing that, but we're not patient enough to actually wait to get to 100.
100 episodes? The fuck is that?
This is the Road to 50, where we're going to be talking about every single episode of Not Death Battle, per video, one episode per video, and we're just going to talk about things.
Mainline with one bonus.
Mainline, and
we got James with us here too.
Yeah.
So
we're going to maybe talk about like the specials or anything, but anything like that will probably get its own video just to it. So today we're just talking about Galactus vs. Magikarp, which is the first episode of Not Death Battle. So I will talk about the origins of the series.
yes, you will.
So, for a while, I wanted to do my own Versus show, because everyone in the Versus community at some point has wanted to do their own Versus show, except Whoand.
Fuck that.
But the problem was that, like, there are so many Versus shows out there that trying to find an identity for your show can be quite difficult.
I think it's basically impossible at this point.
Oh no, because there are some that still do. Like, Galaxy Grudge Match is a fairly recent one, compared to something like Cartoon Fight Club or whatever, and it has its own identity.
And Death Battle itself.
But it's all sort of derivative, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't do anything truly unique.
So what did we do what did he do instead?
So this is the whole motivation for Not Death Battle itself. Sort of started when the first episode of Battle Royale dropped, and I saw there were a lot of comments calling Battle Royale a rip-off of Death Battle, despite the fact that Battle Royale was actually quite different in a lot of ways that gave it its own unique sort of identity to itself. It's just within the same genre. Like, just because something's in the same genre as another thing doesn't mean it is wholly a rip-off. So I thought, what if I did a series that was different to Death Battle, but didn't really try to make it seem like such? That's where the name Not Death Battle came from.
Real on the nose of that one.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that is why the hosts are called Not Wiz and Not Boomstick.
Wow, real original on that one.
So, why did I do this matchup? I don't know.
I can't even fucking remember anymore. It was
Okay,
that long
so-
ago.
Not me either.
Literally, I just walked up to you one day, and I said, what if we did our own Versus show that's a parody, and we started with Galactus versus Magikarp? And you just...
Keep in mind, people, this was back in the day where I was just starting to be on the channel.
Yeah, he
I
was just, like...
It was considered guesswork.
Yeah, and nowadays thinking about you as a guest to the channel is really funny.
I'm also just migrated, so...
So that's how the episode happened. I just walked up and I said, hey, do you want to do Galactus versus Magikarp as a Versus show?
No! Fuck that! He forced me anyway.
I forced you anyway.
He kind of did. I was just like, okay.
Now, let's talk about the voices. So, it was always going to be me doing a, like,
Southern
voice,
aspect.
and then Whoand just using his actual voice. But the voices that we used are different to what we use now. Nowadays, Not Wiz and Not Boomstick. You know, let's just do it. He's Not Wiz and I'm Not Boomstick.
It's our job to analyze their weapons, armors, yes is important, and skills to find out who would win a Not Death Battle.
But back then, it was, he's Not Wiz and I'm Not Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armors, and skills to find out who would win a Not Death Battle.
Could you imagine if instead of Whoand, I was Not Wiz?
Oh my god. He's Not Wiz and I'm Not Boomstick.
Okay,
And I'm...
do it then.
Okay, you do the fucking...
He's Not Wiz and I'm Not Boomstick.
Doesn't even remember the... That's fine.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armors, and skills to find out who would win a Not Death Battle.
And it's our job to analyse their weapons and skills to find out who would win a Not Death Battle.
He forgot the armors!
It's not just the S that's important, it's the word entirely.
So,
See what I fucking mean? I can't do this.
You would have a script in front of you normally.
Well, yeah.
So, obviously the voice changes. The voice changed quite a bit. With Not Boomstick, I just stopped trying to imitate the actual voice, and I just went full gravelly with the way I did it.
and I just got more emotions.
He just started emoting. I think you can notice with, like, in Ken vs. Ken, it's kind of difficult to tell the difference between Not Wiz and Whoand. But then, like, by the time of Not Wiz versus Not Boomstick, it's very clear the
It's
difference.
the boring me! Yeah, and I'm way stronger. Fuck! There you go.
So yeah, you can tell the difference nowadays, but back then it wasn't quite so clear cut. After the voices, let's talk about the script.
the only real fact here is that the names of Not Wizard Not Broomstick weren't even made by that time. It was literally just Nemesis and Huand on the script.
Yeah, I think it was our
characters.
real names though.
Even that, fuck.
Yeah, like
It was that or our real names.
their names
or
were
both.
set up. I just didn't actually use them in the script outside of the intro, which is weird. And like the thing with the writing of Galactus vs Magikarp is that I just went to a respect thread for Galactus, and I didn't actually really elaborate on what any of the scaling means. Like, Odin scaling puts him at least complex multiversal, but I just said, oh, well, Odin's strong. That's it.
He stunk.
And then, like, Magikarp, there's, like, a gradual degradation of the analysis where, like, I apply certain stupid powers to the moves, but then in the end, I'm just like, he can also destroy the multiverse! Funnily enough.
Yeah, we didn't get our jokes right.
What's really funny is that Magikarp being able to destroy the multiverse would still not make it strong enough to kill Galactus.
Fair enough.
Which,
So,
oops. Then, there's the animation.
part 1 was your first sprite animation.
Yeah,
Because
because
by that time you were doing stick animations with GOCs and Thunder Dunder.
I've been pivot animating since
Like grade 5.
no,
4?
wasn't it grade 3 when we started like exploring what we had
Like-
on the laptops?
No, it was grade 4 when we first got those fucking shitty netbooks, and we started
yeah.
using Pivot around. It was either that time or grade 5, which is like a year later.
Yeah, James knows Nemi longer than me, which is somehow crazy considering I appear in the channel more. So
Yeah, I mean James doesn't like have much to do, I guess.
He's actually got a life.
Once everything settles for him, he might end up going back to his channel, might end up doing like the things he wanted to do. Who knows?
I'm mostly relegated to the fucking gaming channel, which we've still yet to do shit for.
Still yet to really put stuff
We'll
on.
upload stuff.
COVID's fucked us up.
Yeah, it
Our
really
schedules
fucked us
and
up.
shit.
So with part 1, because I had been doing Pivot for a while, and I did some sprite stuff, like just putting in the sprites and doing an idle animation. But that was the first proper sprite episode where like I had a background, and it was the first time I explored a Mugen character as well with Galactus, who was from a Mugen. I don't think Magikarp was. Magikarp was just a sprite sheet of him flopping around, and I just edited an angry face. Not really much happens in the fight, but it is the first one I did. And hey, the sprites aren't super blurry like some people who... I'm not going to call out any names because I can't think of the actual people's names. But some people, like, even after a while, still use super blurry sprites. And I'm just glad that I have not done that.
You probably did once and forgot.
Probably did once or twice. Anyway, part 2 was an
Or
accident.
me, and I didn't give a shit when animating it. You could tell with the Galactus stick model, where I just gave him elephant ears.
And for Us All versus Fiction, I had to recreate the Galactus model because you lost it.
What can I say except... Yeah. Also, I think I couldn't be bothered to make the sound effects or edits.
Yeah.
I mean, so...
And
had
I
to
couldn't
add
either.
lead-
I literally just... I pressed record, and then I pressed play on the clip, and I just made sounds with my mouth.
And one more thing
I'm
that
Galactus.
you can't tell in this mess, Galactus is deaf.
Yeah, I still... Galactus falls, like something, planet Earth falls on Galactus,
Earth
and
comes
then
back,
a bunch of lines fly
which
out
I
of
think
him.
it was supposed to represent not Galactus,
Magikarp.
Magikarp coming out of his stomach, Galactus' stomach, and splitting the Earth in half and blowing it.
The explosion is just a single sprite that grows big. I want to point out that the very first episode of Not Death Battle already had 4 in it.
Yeah, it did, and it was a fish, the size of a pixel.
There was a fish getting vored by an eldritch god.
So there's your vor joke. Happy.
My god. So
Just
that
a-
happened, and
To this day, the quality of Galactus Magikarp, let's be honest, it's shit.
I have heard from a lot of people that a lot of people consider it on the better spectrum of versus show first episodes, which is interesting to me because like watching first episodes of versus shows can often be a really rough experience. I think Limit Break is the only one where like Good job, Who And.
You're
Where
welcome.
like Limit Break, I think was the first time.
I said you're welcome later. How do you feel about that? Oh, fuck, nerds.
Yeah, really fucked that one up, didn't
But
you?
yeah, a lot of people think it's actually good for a first episode, which I'm happy in that case if that's what people generally think.
And I'd like to add, it's almost 5 years old at this point, I think.
Yeah, I think this is the 5th year.
So,
Yeah.
5th-year anniversary of an NDB.
Will the special for this year be Galactus vs. Magikarp remastered, or will we just actually do Zoro vs. Zoro?
Or Paper versus Tree 2. Wait until
Solo
episode...
b-
Alright, so that's all we had to
Find out what he
say.
said. Give us money on Patreon.
That's all we have to say for Galactus vs. Magikarp. I'm still happy we did it, obviously, but it has aged, and, it's not the best episode.
It was a good start, though.
Do you want to say goodbye?
We're going to be doing 30 of these for Season 1. Stick
Because
with
there's 30
us.
episodes.
Then the Season 2. Okay, goodbye.